Hello there everyone, it's me Harry, and today we're on day 21 of the Mediavent calendar, so we've not got much left to go now. And I felt like today that we'll do another mixed batch video. So I'm going to take a look at some games released by 3 different publishers. And we're going to start off with a company called Light and Shadow Production, also known as Hip Games. Well, technically they were bought out by Hip Games, or Hip Interactive as their name actually was known, and they went bankrupt in 2005. But anyways, let's start it off. So first of all is Inspector Gadget Mad Robots Invasion. This is developed by a company called Similis Software, and it was released in 2003. It was released exclusively in Europe. It's not a great game at all. It's very poorly made, actually. It's an obvious sign of a shovelware title, and you can tell that it sort of is when it's only got a 7-page manual. So yeah, it's that. Here's a game that's actually a bit better, developed by Pseudo Studio, is Sitting Ducks, based on the Universal TV series of the same name. And you've seen me play through this one. This was before I saw the TV show, so I didn't really understand what the show was about and whatnot. So there was actually 2 different video games based on the show. There was also a PS1 game that was essentially a port of the Game Boy Advance version. And then there was also a PC version, which is a port of the PS2 version. Confusing? I'd think so. Next up is The Mummy, based on The Mummy, the animated series. This is also from Pseudo Studio. So it's an action-adventure game. Yeah, so there's actually 3 different games based on The Mummy released for the PlayStation 2. The other 2 were based on The Mummy Returns and The Mummy Tomb of the Dragon Emperor, or whatever it was called. Yeah, and they were both published by Vivendi Games. So this was right when the company rebranded. This was right when Light and Shadow Production rebranded as Hip Games. And interestingly enough, it doesn't have the voice cast from the show. It instead has British voice actors. Very familiar names there. Gadget and the Gadgetinis. This is from EKO System, and it's based on the TV series of the same name. It's better than the other Inspector Gadget video game, but it's not really saying that much. Yeah, and it doesn't have the existing cast from the show either. Yeah, so I'm guessing the company must have been really cheap at that kind of thing. Next up are 2 games from the 3DO company, developed and published by them. First of all is Army Men Sarge's Heroes 2, a port of a PlayStation-Nintendo 64 title of the same name, in the long-running and over-exaggerated Army Men franchise, which 3DO made something like 15 video games for in the course of 3 years, and each one just got worse and worse. And then the last one that they did in the original series before their bankruptcy was Army Men Real-Time Strategy, done by Pandemic Studios. So this was not developed in-house by the 3DO company like the others. And there was also a GameCube version, but that was not released in the UK or Europe. So there's that done. And lastly in this video will be Blast Entertainment. Ugh. First of all is Action Man Alpha Teens on Machines, developed by King of the Jungle. No, Brain in a Jar Development. This game's horrible. You've seen me play this many years ago, and even now it's still a very bad game. The controls are horrible. And it's a reskin of a Captain Scarlet game that the developer also did. So yeah, bad game. And another game that's also a reskin, but this one's more obvious, is a game called Jetix Puzzle Buzzle, which is a reskin of a game called Egomania. Developed by Broadsword Interactive. And that's pretty much it. I don't have the manual for this one. And then that's the end of this video. A fairly short one, but for day 22, we'll be looking at a few more publishers. So, see you guys next time. Bye-bye.